to.
Man, I gotta have fucking stilts to take a piss in that bathroom.
I'm gonna have to call a buddy to stand on his back.
Well, I'm glad you were doing number 1 and not number 2. Because your guys' feet would have been dangling.
Oh man, sitting backwards on a urinal, taking a do. Oh my god, you guys are crazy.
Oh, wow.
Well, you do what you gotta do.
All right, are we ready to get started?
I'm ready. You ready?
All right, Puddin', you good?
I'm great.
All right, here we go. 3, 2. Welcome to the After Two Beers podcast. I'm Dutch Dalton, joined as always by Kimmy Gibbler.
That's me.
And now our buddy, Michael Puddin' Summers.
What's going on?
Well, man, just living the dream, buddy.
Somebody's dream, right?
Yeah, thanks for joining us tonight. If you're listening to our audio, I'm doing a better job of getting our audio out. I launched 2 shows, I think, late last week, and I'm going to launch a couple more this week. So we'll be seeing some more audio get released here soon. Thanks a bunch to our buddy Kevin who makes sure that we're at least live on video basically every week now.
That's right.
Yeah, we're doing a whole lot better about sticking to the plan, right? If I could figure out how to do that with a diet, I'll be so much healthier. If it's your first time hanging out with us, we greatly appreciate you stopping by. Basically, what we do is we have a couple drinks to start.
Yes.
That's not the minimum or the maximum by any means. And then we talk about things that are going around, just through life. The kind of idea of After Two Beers was it's like you're sitting around with some friends at a bonfire in somebody's backyard and in the basement throwing some darts. Maybe you're at the bar and whatever. And some of the most real conversations.
The best.
Yeah. We have a tendency to get pretty, we go the humor route, but every now and then we'll jerk a tear here and there. So
I didn't know where you were going with that sentence.
so thanks for hanging out with you or us on this week's show. We're going to ask the question, would you take a submarine to the ocean floor? What?
I wouldn't have before this.
Oh, my gosh. We have the Am I the Asshole segment, which this week crosses 2 of my favorite things, in-laws and then gender roles.
Oh, boy.
Oh, you know what I mean? Like what a wife's supposed to do.
Okay.
And then it's my brother-in-law, and it's going to be a great time. And we have Gibbler's Giblets, where she, and every week she brings these little fun facts that may one day help you if you're ever on Jeopardy.
That's
There
right.
you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then in A to B News this week, perverts and video drones, what could go wrong?
Are we talking about?
Yes.
Why'd you guys look at me when you said that?
And then also we're going to talk about the worst first date in history. It happened right here in Indiana. And this is classic.
I thought you were going to say Richmond. I was like,
Oh, no. I think I'm guessing it was Indianapolis, but it doesn't matter. We want to make sure before we get started to do our thank yous. Thank you to our Patreon sponsors, Eric, Kevin, Mike, Brad, and Justin, and Debbie. So thank you to all of our Patreon sponsors. Greatly appreciate you guys. Literally, you pay for us to be on the air. So cost it's like $20 an episode when you break it all down to everything.
Yep.
So you guys hook us up. Greatly appreciate it. Also, thanks to our buddy Kevin Shook here at East Studio at Global Media Enterprises. He produces the show from that side. So thank you so much, Kevin. The cool part is if you're watching the show and you think, well, I'm more clever than they are, I should do a show. All you've got to do is reach out to Kevin, and he basically takes over. Literally.
Right.
Like he
Give him the idea. And he
it's a good deal. We've got some stickers. We've been producing some more of those. I'm actually going to get those on the webpage so you can order those directly. So rather than just trying to send us messages, the first time that I've ever sat in Ponder's garage and actually did business, actually it was him and AJ. I didn't do nothing. They counted stickers. And so we're going to put the inventory on the webpage and we're going to sell those.
sounds good.
So
They're awesome.
Cool. If you get a chance, go to our webpage, after2beers.com. That's the number 2. And you can find links to our social media pages, past episodes, past guest hosts we've had on the show. And you can also find a link to our Patreon button, which would allow you to sponsor us. We don't sell mattresses like other podcasts do, and or chocolate dip roses or any of that kind of stuff. So, if you want to help us out, throw a tip in the old tip jar. We would greatly appreciate it. And the best way to do that is on Patreon.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Replenish our fridge.
There we go. All right, now we're going to jump right into it. If you're watching, by all means, feel free to jump in and honor some or offer some dialogue. And we're going to continue drinking here to inspire our dialogue.
Yes.
We got to get a little funnier.
But, right. Well, it seems to.
At least we think we are.
We peak at the middle.
You gotta peek.
and then it's downhill. All right, let's get into the first thing. This was a big deal on social media, but it was also like on mass media as well. I saw it on CNN all day, and it was these guys. There was 5 of them in this little sub that went to the ocean floor to see the wreckage of the Titanic.
Yep.
And whether there were 20,000 feet.
I don't know.
God.
I don't know
if
all
it
the
was
specifics.
20,000? I think it was like 12,000 maybe.
It's a lot. Anyway.
Too much. For me.
And they'll send out the Coast Guard looking for them, and that's on the news for 30 seconds.
And that's it.
Yeah.
And it's done.
Right. But these people, and then here's the other thing. I think the news knew that they were dead since Sunday.
Yeah. That's what everybody's saying.
Right. That's when they lost contact with them. But they waited until the day after they quote unquote were going to run out of oxygen.
Yeah.
To then say, oh, they actually died Sunday.
To actually give
They
people, there might be some
strung
hope.
people along.
Yeah.
And more importantly, they strung along the families.
Right. Why would you do that?
Oh, TV ratings, baby. There must have been. It's dry right now. Biden's not that exciting.
No.
Oh, so let me ask: would either of you go
Hell no.
in a sub?
No.
I won't even go on a cruise because, for one, I don't like feeling restricted and
No, cruises are fun.
cruises are huge. Cruise ships are huge. But if you have one that's rocky and everything else, I'm done. I get it's a motion sickness thing. It's a feeling of like I'm stuck. There's
feel like you're
absolutely
stuck
I
and-
feel like I'm stuck.
Now, let me ask you: do you mind flying?
Um,
It's literally the
Same
same
thing.
thing.
I've never flown any longer than 6 hours though.
So you're saying if I put you on a sub for 5 hours, you're golden?
No, not that. No, because they were legitimately like even if they had been, even if it had been brought up to the surface, they're locked in. There is no evacuation, not even a little bit,
Right. Right.
because they had that bad boy sealed. Nope.
What if
That's a
you
hell
had
no.
the option to open it from the inside, like an airplane?
I'd
Well, no, 'cause
be
you
a
don't
little
want
more likely, but it's just not my gig.
No, you
not
don't
my
want
gig.
somebody in there.
Not a
freaking
huge
out
fan
and
of
trying
water
to open
stuff.
the door.
Yeah.
I wonder how much of it's that
Right.
people are terrified of drowning.
Right.
People are afraid of the water. And I think part of it was that with that sub, right?
I don't know if it's so
yeah.
much the water. I think it's the stuff that's in the water.
Oh,
But if you're gonna die
really?
like that-
Yeah, no, like I don't even like going into lakes because I can't see what's underneath me. Like if I go into like crystal blue see-through water, I'm good
Right.
because I can see something. I can see what's underneath me. I can see what's going on. But nope. You're taken to the depths of like they didn't even have lights. I don't even know how they would have been able to see.
Well, they do have lights. When they get down there, they have lights. That's how they navigate around in.
Okay.
See everything.
Because I thought
Yeah.
they were pretty much like even if they'd gone down, it was just so dark you'd barely even be able to see stuff.
Wouldn't that be some bullshit? Is if they actually just lowered him into
Shit,
like
we forgot the lights.
a container.
We just go down a little bit. Here you go. See
We're
it?
just gonna go down so that we know that we've
It's
been
just painted
here.
on the wall.
Right. They're like, turn down the color of the lights. No, it's fascinating to me, right? Because I think what people got freaked out upon is it wasn't so much that it was just 5 people's lives either. It scared the shit out of people. It's my worst.
Right.
Like, they literally were basically buried alive in what
Yeah.
people's minds, and it was all fake. They were already dead when everybody was freaking out about it. Like, it's literally like, it's wild.
And why
to
did
me.
they string along the whole? Oh, we hear knocking or
Well,
something.
they did hear
that
knocking,
day.
but they said that's just random animals and shit down there making
You don't know
noises.
what that could have been.
No,
that was megalodon.
right?
Shit.
That it's just wild to me that this is our world today. Is that a story like this can dominate news, dominate social media
For a week.
There were so many people that were posting funny memes about it. I was the guy. I'm just gonna say it because to me this was a Darwin thing.
Right.
This is no different than if I have $30,000 a year and I stand next to the edge of a cliff and fall down. People make fun of that. You'll see it on CNN in the bottom. These were 5 people that wanted to go to the cliff too.
Right.
They just went in a fucking expensive ass little toy
Experimental tube.
that nobody and people kept telling
You
them.
couldn't even straighten your legs.
Oh no! They had one toilet for 5 people.
Negative.
That's
That wouldn't have even lasted with us 3, okay?
right. Honestly,
be honest.
they probably caused it to implode. Somebody.
Probably shit themselves.
Now, I will say one of the things I did hear a story about this, and I felt horrible about it. And this is the one negative for me in this whole thing was the kid that was on there, the 19-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
His father was the rich guy.
Yeah.
Well, they're all rich, clearly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From what I was told, he was terrified to go on this thing, and he was only going because his dad wanted him to go.
And it was Father's Day.
And it was fun, yeah. And but they had left like for 8 days. Like, can you imagine being out there for 8 days? But again, you know what? I feel for the families because they're the ones that have to grieve for this. But at the end of the day, these people died like they were doing what they loved, and they don't even know they're dead.
No.
I mean, depending on what your opinion of afterlife is, I mean, they're like that.
Instant.
Yeah.
It was quicker than that. And they're just, "Ooh, is that a fish?" What a way to go.
What was that sound?
Is it supposed to crack?
Not like
Oh man, I don't know. The moment and I know people keep making light of it, but it's true. It's a video game controller.
right.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
Oh, and parts from Camping World.
Oh my gosh, it just
And I've seen some campers, like, not make it through a damn underpass.
His reasoning was they're mass produced, so you know they're good. No.
And you know what? And they say that, and then you see factory recalls all the time.
Yeah.
We've seen broken
Yeah.
Teslas, okay?
Well, yeah. All right. So anyway,
Yeah.
I think the 3 of us are in agreement. I'm not a fan of the idea of going into a really good sub. Even it scares the hell out of me.
Yeah.
You're
Nope.
trapped in a water tube, like because I know it in a plane too, but at least with the plane, you think. When we hit, we're done.
Yeah.
It's like that, right?
Yep.
Right.
The last thing I
And
want to
if,
do,
if I make it, I'm on a vacation. So
and you're in a sub, you're like, shit. Now I'm gonna for the next 4 minutes, I can't breathe. This is great.
right.
Oh, no. No,
That's,
thank you.
yeah, not for me. Anyway, all right.
All right.
Are you guys ready for Am I the Asshole?
Yes.
We're always ready for the
Yeah.
Am I the Asshole?
Do we have comments tonight? I haven't seen any yet. If
Do we have
if
any
do,
followers, anything?
we got stickers from Ponder. All right, we're gonna jump into Am I the Asshole? And this is here we go. I, 39-year-old female, my husband Tom, who's a 37-year-old male, so it's a couple in their late 30s, and they have 2 sons. That recently had a house fire and they lost their home, but luckily we were all out of the house when this happened. Tom's brother, who's 40, and his wife agreed to let us stay at his place with their kids while we sort out our insurance. I don't like Sean as he believes in a traditional gender role in a household. We've had issues since he realized I would keep my maiden name at work, which I informed him was none of his business and my personal choice. Oh, these 2 are so polar opposites, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this had to be a phenomenal, Big Brother. kind of
That's what I was
situation.
getting ready to say. If they had cameras, it'd been Big Brother.
Hey, Jason Whitney, there you go, buddy. It says he works full time and his wife is a housewife. We had our son. Sean thought I would quit my job as a doctor and become a stay-at-home house mother. However, Tom became a stay-at-home house dad instead, and then went back to work after our son went to school and doesn't share the same thought process as Sean. She really doesn't like Sean at all.
No.
Yeah, not a fan of Sean.
Nope.
Sean clearly disapproves of this and me and vocalized his thoughts about the situation. I got Tom to speak to Sean, and he has left us alone since. but occasionally used to make comments at holidays and birthdays about it, which I ignored. That means he got into the, little nip
Right.
of the.
Little eggnog, and
he had a
he's
couple beers.
Speaking up.
He's probably like, hey, why don't you run in there and give me a beer?
Would you make me sandwich while you're at it?
Oh, it said which I ignored. They stopped when Tom returned to work, and since then, Tom says Sean has grown as a person. Tom and Sean are very close, and I would never tell him to stop talking to him, but I personally interact as least as possible with Sean. My son's school and Tom's workplace is walking distance from Sean's house, which is why I agreed to stay and suck it up while we get back on our feet, as it is temporary. All right, so let's set the scene.
Okay.
You've got a lady that is clearly like, it's modern day.
Yeah.
It's 2023.
I'm making
I
my
work, he
money.
works.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who. He didn't even work.
Yeah.
And then you've got another guy that was raised probably in a very standard 1950s, 60s
Dad worked.
kind of
Mom
house.
stayed home.
Yep. And now you're putting them together. What could go wrong?
Nothing.
Best.
Here we go. Yesterday was a very hectic day at work, and I was exhausted. Oh, it always starts with exhaustion.
Yeah.
My shift ended midday, and I went straight to bed. Everyone was at the house. Sean and Tom went to work. Everyone was out of the house. Sean and Tom went to work. The kids were at school, and Sean's wife went to see a friend. Sean got home first and woke me up. I was upset and still tired, and when I asked him why, he said I should make a start on dinner as it was getting late and his wife was out and not picking up her phone.
Oh, whoa,
So you're in mid-nap.
sleeping. You're woken up. I was going to say, why is he waking you up? He wants you to.
Like, why?
All right, let me finish.
That's weird.
Well, it
Okay.
is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you gonna go knock on their door and be like,
I hope she doesn't sleep in a tank top with no bra on.
right?
You making dinner soon?
Hey, you better get cooking. And it's no wonder his wife wasn't answering the phone.
Right?
Why does everybody sound like Cousin Eddie when they do that?
That's true.
Who you doing?
Hey, would you mind preparing dinner? It sounds better when they're inbred.
Right.
He's probably scratching his belly.
She says, usually I do the cooking in the house with his wife, but I was upset that Sean had woken me up and yelled at me to not disturb me. Okay, she yelled at him. I kicked him out of the room and told him I was going back to sleep and he could sort out his own dinner. When I woke up that evening, Sean told me that I was under his house and I needed to respect his house rules. You know what I mean? It's your house, right?
What's the number of Papa John's? I got you.
Right. Like, let's say hypothetically, I need to go stay at your house.
Okay.
Okay? And I appreciate you letting me stay there. But I like to walk around in the nude. It's just what I do. Okay? You're like, our house rules say we wear clothes.
Wear some
Public
bottoms.
settings.
Wear some bottoms.
This is nothing like that, though.
I'm just trying to create some conversation here.
No.
Oh, but either way, yeah. So anyway.
How about this? You're exhausted. You've just worked a 12-hour shift. You're dealing with bloody people and infections and sickness and everything
Yeah.
else, right? Worked a 12-hour shift and you're napping, and I come wake up and go, hey, my honey's not home. I'm going to need you to go mow. That's house rules.
right?
It's going to go over like a turn the punch bowl.
Girl, I'm on your side. I'm on this woman's side on this one.
You need to go mow because, Sean's not here.
Yeah.
Right,
I can't get a hold
right.
of him.
That's clearly I am more important than you.
Right.
Yeah.
When I take a
what I'm-
shit,
exactly what
it
I'm
smells
thinking, yeah.
amazing. When you all shit,
Worst
funky.
shit in the world. How did that come out of you?
my shit has never stank. Not in the history of ever. No, I'm not saying that. But that's what this is all about, right? So he's dropping this on him, and then you got to figure, like, here comes the husband issues.
Right.
Right.
Oh. the moment he's got to talk to him about it.
Well, honey, we are staying at his house. We probably ought to help out.
Just trying to assert his dominance, but
She said, I told him he could have cooked himself, heated leftovers in the fridge, or got takeout. Tom thinks that Sean did overstep by waking me up and making demands, but says I shouldn't have yelled and escalated the situation. I don't think I'm the asshole, but I could have handled it slightly better maybe, but want to get someone else's perspective. So is she the asshole for yelling at the guys in the situation?
No, it's
gonna
just
go ahead and
weird
say
that he
no.
woke
Yeah.
her up.
Right.
you're right. You're gonna wake somebody up that it's not an easy job, depending on what career. I didn't.
Yeah.
She's
She's a
It's
doctor.
not easy.
Yeah.
You know what? I bet you this dude went to work the next day and described it way different.
Oh, I
yeah.
guarantee it.
He's like,
He probably has
just,
a different
you know,
Reddit on
knocked
Am I
on
the
the door.
Asshole?
Yeah.
Do you know it?
I just
Yeah.
knocked on the door and say, "Hey, ask politely if you were going to help with dinner." Not,
Hey, I can't get a hold of her. Do you mind helping out? The kids are hungry.
Man. I wonder if the others ever find, because like you said, Gibbler, every time I check Reddit to find am I the asshole, it's almost always in-law related.
Yeah.
People hate in-law or their siblings.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that I think a lot of people are using this almost as like therapy.
maybe she misunderstood him. Maybe he asked what she wanted for dinner.
I don't think that's the case.
He's
I
like, that
don't
does
know.
sound good. Will you make me one as well?
No.
Oh man! So I'd love to know more about this situation. So are they
Right.
still under the same household?
Yeah.
Oh,
what's
I
the rules
guarantee you
now?
that-
What's going
Oh
on?
my gosh!
Just
And if
out.
your house burned, it's going to be a long,
yeah.
like it's not going to just be something that's just a couple weeks.
All right,
Guarantee.
let's ask the $1 million question. Could you move in with your partner's siblings for an extended period of time, 6 months?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I don't know about that.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just too many people in a house. And
it's okay.
I don't know. It's not going to be a preference, but I
Oh
mean,
my
if you got to
God.
do what you got to do.
I'm going to tell you right now, I love my sister to death. I do. I love my brother-in-law. I really do. I don't think as a unit, AJ and I could exist under the same roof with them for more than about 8 days.
Right.
And I don't mean any disrespect to that. That's like how people always joke, we should do a commune. And I'm like, yeah, that
good luck
sounds
with that.
funny now, but the more adults you add to a situation, the more,
Yeah.
somebody's going to get woke up for a nap to do some cooking.
And some other one.
I can tell you right now, AJ's in there going, thank God he said that because I couldn't live there either. Do you have, does you have sibling
Yeah, well, yeah.
situations on either? Could you
Yeah.
guys go and imagine taking all the kids?
No, especially my group. No.
Oh my gosh.
No. My kids are good though. They take care of themselves right now. So.
Yeah. That's the thing. My daughter is just.
We should just go wake up your kids and just have them make our dinner.
There you go.
Bring me a bowl of
All
cereal.
right. Well, in this case, we're going to say she is not the asshole. And Debbie's in. If she yelled at him in the house, that's asshole-ish. I like ish. Ish.
Not full blown asshole, just asshole ish.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
it. Just to me, it just screams entitlement. Well, you're in my house, so get up and service me, like with a butter, like.
No.
I'm like, I don't think he was asking for that.
I
But
meant like with a sandwich or something. All right, Gibbler, are you ready for your giblets?
oh yeah, let me get my giblets ready. All right, we're gonna start out with this one. Okay, the Foo Fighters and Red Hot Chili Peppers had a prank war during a tour in 1999, which finally culminated into Dave Grohl dumping 500 pounds of spaghetti on drummer Chad Smith. 500 pounds.
That's a lot of.
Hopefully not.
Where do
That's
you
a lot
do
of
that?
spaghetti. I don't know, but
How do you order 500 pounds of
Oh,
spaghetti?
that's just 2 boxes.
I was getting ready to say I made some spaghetti and I probably could have fed 500 people with it. 'Cause I
want-
don't know how to cook spaghetti without making like a crap ton.
I'm not gonna lie. This sounds interesting,
Right.
but now I want to know more.
I do want to know more, and that's all I've got. I should have done a little more research, but
Well, that's interesting.
but I thought it was cool.
Have you
I
ever
mean,
done anything in a prank to somebody?
Like I've done the office chair where you put like the alarm or the horn underneath.
Oh, have
it.
you really?
Yeah.
Did it work?
Yeah.
That's actually one I've wanted
Yeah.
to do. My freshman year at Ball State was probably the most that I've ever done. I've never been on like a professional sports team, obviously, where people do like crazy shit or wrestlers. But they gave us a welcome package when we first moved in, and you've never seen as many 18-year-old boys get as creative with the shit that was in that welcome package. So what we would do,
Yeah.
we would take. They gave us those little. Remember when Gillette used to come in the shaving cream?
Yeah.
You know, and they gave us one of those little ones. And somebody down the hall, it was my buddy Ryan Kaplan, lives in Michigan today. He showed us, he goes, if you take a push pin and put it inside of there and use a lighter, he goes, it'll melt that plastic. And then when it cools, you pull the push pin out and you greatly reduce the hole. Oh. He goes, you can shoot shaving cream out of one of those things 15 feet, and you can. Well, what I learned, and I did this at State too, is you can take the peephole in a room and you can unscrew it. So you can pull the peephole out and it's a hole, right? And you could hold that in there and you could just coat somebody's room.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Oh, it was amazing. Or if you take baby powder and you put it in a pillowcase and you put it under the door
Yeah.
and then step on the pillow, it shoots
Shoots
all that
everywhere.
baby powder.
Oh wow.
And then you got to penny them in the room.
Oh, yeah, where
Did
you
you
can't
do that?
open the door?
Yeah. Stick a bunch of pennies in the crack, and it puts
yeah.
so much pressure on the door you can't open it.
You can't even turn the... It's...
Wow.
Yeah, those were good times.
I was gonna say I kept hearing like some different bottle rocket wars and different things as somewhat adults, but
Yeah, my freshman year in college, there's so many stories we could tell. We had a guy that had gone out on a Friday night and had a few too many, threw up in his trash can. And this was like the first few weeks at Ball State, so we're talking late August versus September. And we didn't have air conditioning in our dorms. And so his roommate stuck the trash can outside in the hallway because it was stinking up his room.
Yeah.
Well, we had these assholes at the end of the hallway, was walking down, just saw it, kicked
it. Oh.
And it one of these numbers. And it
So
sat
it's-
in the hallway all weekend long
Oh,
in Indiana heat. Oh, it was gross.
Probably smelled like beer and pizza. Greek's pizza.
My
dog
favorite was it was a buddy of mine, Brad and Nick. They came up and did our door one night, and I remember the next morning I get a knock on the door, and it's the cleaning people, and they said, "Hey, do you want us to clean your door?" And I said, "Yeah." I go, "If you clean it, are you going to charge us?" And she goes, "Yeah," because there was a charge for expense. I did. Does it go to the whole floor? And she goes, "Yeah." And I go, "Clean that damn thing." There was peanut butter and everything. They had
wow.
just coated the handle in peanut butter, and yeah,
That's awesome.
Those were the days.
good
But
time.
no 500 pounds of spaghetti.
No, not in college.
No, they couldn't afford to waste that much food.
No.
Might had a couple cubes of ramen, but that was about it.
All right, Gibber, what's your next one?
All right, let's see what else we got here. I think you'll like this one. All right, the 90s sketch comedy show In Living Color drew away 22% of Super Bowl 26's viewers during its halftime show by doing a special live episode of their own, which is why subsequent Super Bowls got A-list performers and dropped the previous themed marching band format.
Really?
So it was all In Living Color's fault,
Well, there you go.
right?
That's pretty cool.
Or
Isn't
we
that
can
cool?
thank them.
We should be
might not
thanking
be
them.
able to
I mean,
thank them.
there were a couple performances over the years that we should probably be pissed off at them for, but
Well, it's so funny to me. People make such a big damn deal of the halftime
Right.
of Super Bowl. If you don't like it, go to the bathroom. Go
Yeah.
get a chicken
Right.
wing.
right,
It'll be over in 10
you're not the one spending thousands of dollars to
Oh.
sit there and
I'm amazed
Deal
every
with
year.
it.
Like it sounds like everybody's Spotify list. They're like, oh, why can't we have so and so up there?
right.
You know, I'm like, not everybody wants to hear Conway Twitty songs, man.
He's cool, man, but not right now.
all right.
All right. So here's another one. So Texas Hold'em opening hand of an Ace King offsuit is sometimes referred to as an Anna Kournikova, both for the initials AK and because the hand looks good but does not win much.
I mean, that's truth hurts, but that's the truth.
Wow.
I thought that this was hilarious.
Yeah.
But the other ones that I have are related to, his kind of weekend trip. We all like the Big Lebowski.
Yeah.
So here's some Lebowski facts. So in the edited TV version of the film, Walter's line, "This is what happens when you fuck a stranger in the ass," was changed to, "This is what happens when you find a stranger in the Alps."
Yeah. Puddin' and you went.
I went
Yeah.
to the Lebowski
And
Fest.
AJ went. We'll have to get Ponder down there. There was a person. It's an amazing time if you've never
Absolutely.
been
It's
there.
the best.
It's in Louisville, but they do them all over the U.S. From time to time, different locations. If you look it up, and the cool part, Puddin was just telling us that they're bringing it back.
Yeah,
it's
this
a cool
September.
event. But people dress up like characters, and somebody actually dressed up as a stranger in the Alps.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Just a bunch
Garland
of dudes.
Green from Con Air is the same person as Donnie from
Oh.
The Big Lebowski.
Oh.
In
I
Con Air,
wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for that one yet. Hold on. Let me do one more, and then we'll talk about that one.
Oh man.
All right. So here's another one from the Lebowski. So though Donnie wears several personalized bowling shirts during the film, none of them bear his name.
Not Donnie's name. They
Right.
they have other
None of
names.
They have
Names.
other names,
Yeah.
but not Donnie's name. And actually, we're getting ready to hear. So I was on the old Tiki Talkie, and there's a fan theory, and you can go ahead and play it. And let's see what you guys think.
Garland is one of the most terrifying serial killers in the world. At the end of Con Air, everyone thinks Garland died in the plane crash, but we see that he sneaks away to do some gambling. Now remember, this was before social media, so yes, people have seen his face on the news, but he's so scrawny and weak-looking and innocent that no one thinks he could possibly be a serial killer. His fun times in Vegas run out, so he takes all his winnings, makes his way to Los Angeles, where he meets Walter and the dude and joins their bowling team. Two dudes who would never ask questions and only think about themselves. He assumes a much quieter life and personality, but he clearly doesn't stop serial killing. He has a whole bunch of bowling shirts throughout the movie, none of them with the name Donnie. All of these people were maybe other bowlers that he killed. Plus, think about it, he doesn't have any friends or family. No one else shows up to his funeral. Donnie is definitely Garland Green from Con Air.
I mean, yeah. It makes you think.
Is it a prequel?
Oh my God! This is why America loves drugs.
Right.
Whoever came up, first of all, Doug Philbeck, we are absolutely live, and this is why you're welcome to stop by. This is clearly someone's theory that they were just fucked up one night on something. It could have been weed, it could have been shrooms.
Watch the movies back to back, and we're
Oh
like,
my
dude,
God.
did you see that?
That's the same dude, and they didn't even realize it's
Yeah.
the same dude. It's because it's the same actor. And then somebody bought into it and put it together. I love the
I love the idea, though. I love the
Oh,
concept
That's a
of
good
it.
idea.
I love the originality of it,
Yeah.
but the dude had a heart attack in a bowling alley parking lot. This isn't the kind of guy that's a serial killer.
Did he look like one in Con Air, though, really?
Yeah,
I
it was
mean,
kinda
he
freaky.
acted
right?
like one, but
When he was in that pool, that little girl with the doll. Oh, I'm telling you, dude was creepy as shit. Steve Buscemi looks creepy anyway, right? Like,
right.
honestly, if there's like a dude in the alley you're gonna meet and they're not enormous, they'd look like Steve Buscemi, and it scared the shit out of you. He looks like a rat, and I love him. He's in every Coen's
great.
brother movie, and
Yeah,
Tarantino
absolutely, yeah.
loves him, and he's a good dude. Anyway, yeah, Doug, it's good. Thanks for joining us, buddy.
Yeah.
All right, Gibbler, what you got? Anything more?
Let's see here. I'll do one more. In Pakistan, there is a tree that has been chained and placed under arrest since 1898. The story goes that a British Army officer named James Squid, in a drunken stupor, believed that the tree was lurching toward him and ordered its arrest.
I think they arrested the wrong person in
No
that
doubt.
story.
Yeah. that-
Right? I know.
the
They've
wrong
got
guy.
a picture of this tree like chained up.
Yeah. Speaking of drugs,
Right? Exactly. Drunken. What?
Everything goes.
oh man, that's
Yeah.
what happens when you live in a small town with too many police forces.
Right?
Start locking up
Back to
trees
the
and shit. Man, we're there's a lot of people that watch us from here in Richmond, but there's a ton of us that listen to us and watch us from outside our community. And it's just, I'm not trying to be political, but we're in a town of 30,000
Right.
approximately.
Yeah.
We have 5 police forces in that are separate.
Yeah.
Separate entities, yeah.
What
just
happens
like-
if they all decide to go to war? Like, this
Oh,
is...
jeez.
No, I'm like... like, who's the dominant force? I'm telling you, man, this is...
County or city?
Well, I don't
This
know.
is like the Dukes of Hazzard waiting to happen, man. Oh, it's just
Who's gonna
funny
be
to
boss
me.
hog?
Oh,
Me.
the other day, AJ and I were at a Hardee's here in Richmond, and there was like 14 cop cars out behind there, 3 different like unit
Right.
and I'm like, this is our country now.
Is it like the same as like the UPS and the FedEx guy pulling up at the same time?
I don't think so. Like those people are like gang turf wars. These are just like so. That's what my whole point was. What happens when they both show up? Who takes lead?
Who's got jurisdiction?
Sure.
Right?
Jurisdiction,
What if it's in
yeah.
the parking lot of the hospital?
Right? Or what if it's at the stoplight?
I don't be
Telling you,
knowing.
There's a lot of hospitals. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Don't get in trouble here.
Nope.
They're everywhere.
Oh man, that's a lot. Anyway, I got damn on that one. I appreciate them. I do. But there's a Chicago farmer. It's a country singer, like a folk singer kind of guy. And he talks about the little town he's from. And it basically like, there's like 20 people in the town, but there's 20 cops. There's like 1 cop for every person in the town. Except like they said there was 1 person that didn't, but his dad had 2 people. It's just, he's great. Check him out. Anyway, all right. Do you have more or are we good?
I think we're good.
All right. Are we ready for news?
Yes.
I'm ready.
Can't wait.
Are we doing a pause for the cause? I'm good either way.
I'm good.
All right, let's go. All right, here's our first story. And then I brought this one up for a lot of reasons. And most notably because the video producer of our show is phenomenal with a drone. And I'm like, this is just right up his alley. Because this stuff is going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to happen. A convicted sex offender is facing a video voyeurism charge after he allegedly flew a drone to peer into the bathroom window of a female neighbor, according to Rhode Island police. Investigators say Stephanie Marola, 32, was preparing to take a shower in her Cranston residence last Wednesday evening when she heard a buzzing sound outside her bathroom window. When she went outside to investigate, cops say she spotted a drone hovering near the window. As she approached the drone, it began to fly away, but struck a branch and fell to the ground. This sounds like a Looney Tunes
Yeah, right.
Zoinks. Marola then grabbed the drone and dunked it in her pool, disabling the quadcopter's electronics. Marola, who lives with her 3-year-old daughter, called 911 and reported the remote peeping Tom attempt. A subsequent. Man, I was doing so good with this story.
So good, buddy.
I was 3 beers in.
Drink
and
another one.
Fucking subsequent got me.
There you
Subsequently, it got you.
Yeah, it got me. A subsequent police investigation resulted in the arrest of Christopher Jones, 49, whose home, where he lives with his 72-year-old mother.
No.
Shocker.
Shocker.
So you're telling me a convicted sex offender has to live with his mother?
No.
Can't find a good job doing something like that? Yeah. While cops did not reveal how the defendant was linked to the drone, they say that Jones admitted he was the operator.
He probably came looking for it.
Probably.
Right.
Oh, man. Jones, they had a picture of this guy. You can go out and check him out if you want to. I don't know why. Was arraigned Friday night on a felony video voyeurism charge and subsequently released from police custody. Cops said Jones is a convicted sex offender, but his requirement to register with the state expired in 2015. That seems like something that shouldn't expire.
So did they have
Right.
evidence that like
does
he
that
was
expire?
videoing this? Like, did she ever?
Well, they won't say how.
He admitted to it.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah, he
There you
said
go.
he admitted he was the operator.
I told you.
Well,
he
they
came
were the
looking for it.
operator, but
Maybe he had one of them like
You see my drone?
like a
He obviously didn't know how to fly it very well. It hit a
You
branch.
see my drone?
I don't know.
he was working
I don't know.
probably because he was working 2 joysticks.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's gonna be awkward. He's got that autopilot
Yeah, his drone got all gummed up.
button. Why's my controller sticky?
Must have been a
That would be-
Logitech controller.
There's a lot of shit going on there.
Right?
I mean, you got to put it on autopilot. Otherwise,
see, that's what I
otherwise
said.
the drone would just go like this. Oh man!
Oh shoot!
Oh, you know what? We're just gonna move
He was
on
caught
from that one.
sticky-handed.
No, I'm gonna say this stuff is gonna happen. I don't even think we
yeah.
have scratched the surface
No, not
of
at
what
all.
these drones are gonna do.
Yep.
And that's why I love the fact that Kevin is involved. Kevin, like, is a legit dude. Kevin, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
At what point when you buy a drone do you have to report it to the government?
You have to actually register each aircraft you have, each little drone. To the government. You pay like $25, register it, get a number.
Yeah, well, you're also supposed to register your dog in the city, too. But let's be honest. How many people register their dogs?
Right.
So I'm saying if I go into a Walmart and I can buy a drone. I can buy a
Yeah.
drone in a Walmart.
Yeah.
And I take it home, and it's a little one. It's not a
Right.
really a fancy one. But I put on the bottom of it an explosive device.
Mm-hmm.
And I fly it in and set it down, and I explode it wherever I want.
Mm-hmm.
How would they track it back to that person?
They might not.
That's the scary part, right?
Here's the thing, though. So that you don't even have to register that. The only reason I have to register is for commercial use. So you're either a commercial pilot or you're a recreational pilot.
Okay.
If you're recreational, you just bought the shit off the shelf and you're flying it. So it doesn't have to be registered to you.
So if this guy didn't admit to it, there's a potential that there's no way they could have busted him for it.
Right. It does save GPS data, but that's usually in the drone itself. So if the drone's destroyed, I don't know if it's backed up to, like the fancier drones backs up their GPS to DJI and everything else. But
Yeah.
if it's some little shitty one from Walmart, it's not going to do that. So
So would he be just watching it, or would it be videoing it? Like, would it have recorded on his phone, or? His
you can
computer
do
or
that.
whatever?
You could screen record on
Yeah.
your phone
Yeah.
while you're.
That's what he's doing. I mean,
Right.
so like when we had that fire here locally, so he could go up to somebody's bathroom window, like in this case, take the video of it, fly away. She doesn't hear the buzzing. She'd
Yeah.
have never known.
Never know.
Never
You should probably
known.
close your blinds there.
Right.
Well, obviously, but the,
I mean, I'm just saying, I don't know, like, how good it would be able to, like, if it was just open a little bit, how much, I mean, obviously, the better drone, the better
people
you'd
are,
be able to focus in, but
Right.
I've heard of stories now where they're attaching metallic pieces to drones and then flying them into substations, and they're knocking out power grids.
Really?
Yeah, because it just shuts the system down.
Huh.
And I just, like I said, I'm interested on these drones because it's, we are just, and they're so
More
cheap.
stuff
It's-
to come. Yeah.
Well, and it's interesting too because people, I've had like, some old closed-minded people like, I'll shoot that down. I'm like, that's fine, that's great, do it because you get destruction of property charge and then you have to buy me a new one.
You're right.
But if I'm hovering in a window or I'm just hovering over somebody that's laying next to a pool, then I get invasion of privacy charge.
okay.
So that's how that works.
Well, see, it's really interesting, right? Because it's
Right.
just like nobody owns the airspace.
No, absolutely not.
And no one owns, like, you can walk on someone's quote-unquote property. You saw that in Yellowstone.
Yeah.
As long as you're in the water, no one owns that waterway. And it's the same kind of thing with this. And I just think drones in the future, we haven't even scratched the surface
No.
with the drama
no.
that's going to come from these things.
No, I look up the Jetson drone later on YouTube, and you can fly in it. You can buy it for $91,000 right now, and you can fly in it. It's like a 20-minute flight time, 60 miles per battery, You could fly from your backyard to the parking
Oh
garage.
man, people are gonna be flying these into NASCARs. They're gonna be. I'm serious, like, and not even on purpose, man.
No.
People just want to have a video now that
Right.
gets lots of views, and they're gonna do stupid shit with these
Get it.
things.
Stupid shit.
It does, and it makes it harder for us that actually follow the rules and regulations through the FAA. They put more and more on us, and you'll see stuff. I seen some stuff the other day that I knew they weren't following the rules because they were flying directly overhead at a car show overhead of people, and that's a fine. That's $11,000 fine.
Oh, wow.
Directly overhead is
I heard a story just last week where these guys paid $250,000 a piece to ride in a remote control sub. I mean, that's
Hey, you know what? They should have read the Amazon reviews.
Yeah, you gotta check them reviews.
You got to
first,
check out
man.
the
Just
Amazon reviews.
For the controller
yeah.
itself.
Right.
oh my god!
I heard it's not getting reviews
Yeah,
very well.
anyway,
That's why you never take a Logitech controller.
I don't know what the future holds, but I'm going to tell you right now, the drone thing, we haven't even scratched the surface of it.
It's only starting.
No, because if we have access to 30 times zoom lens as a civilian,
Yeah.
what does the government have? What does Area 51 have? Ooh.
Well, and not even aside from that, like there's value to it too. There's benefits. So my son goes to Purdue University here locally, and they have these robots that are, it basically looks like a cooler that has 4 wheels, and it delivers food all over campus.
Oh, yeah. That's all over TikTok.
Yeah.
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 And so it's all over his campus. So, oh, that was weird.
What?
My mic went out for a second. So you drive all over campus now, and it's just as common as seeing a mailbox, and there's just these coolers going everywhere, and it's all done basically being much like a drone would be. Only
Right.
these are even doing it on their own. It's so.
Yeah, just type in the
Like,
coordinates.
I was going to say, do you have to have like a password to open the cooler for
I-
your own food? Or
I assume there's got to be something there, but it's the same kind of concept. Like, I'm just blown away by robots are like coming in everywhere. I'm like telling you,
Right.
things are going to be different.
well, I know a while
And-
back, Amazon had even or had debated about drone delivery.
They do it in big cities.
Yeah,
do they?
yeah. There's
Yeah.
stores already doing it. I mean, there's public safety delivering AEDs and stuff to cardiac arrest and large cities and stuff.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah,
That's
this shit's
crazy.
already happening, and then wait till it ties into AI.
Oh, but yeah, man.
Well-
You know what? Stephen King's written 3 or 4 books about this.
Right?
All I got to do is go. All I've known in life is all I've got to do is go back and scour old Simpsons episodes.
Right,
I'm
there
sure
it
there's
is.
something
Yeah.
about this.
Oh yeah. Everything's there.
Everything's on the Simpsons. Shit.
Time traveler.
All right. You know what? We got one more story. We're going to wrap it up. We'll stick to our 1 hour here. Thanks so much again for everybody that's tuned in tonight on our Facebook or YouTube. Also, be sure to listen to us still. We're on iTunes and Spotify. If that's your preferred method, we're still going to release those. You know, what's funny? I quit doing them as random or as timed
Right.
release
Oh, yeah.
kind of thing. I was doing like once a week, and I hadn't released any in a while. And then I heard from certain people, Mark Stringer, one of our Patreon sponsors, he's like, I really kind of like it on the audio because I'm driving all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, well, there you go. So
Yeah.
we're going to make sure we do that. All right, here's our second and final story as we wrap it up. This comes from Indiana. And this is, it's funny. I read a lot of, it's a Florida man. There's a lot of an Indiana man, too.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
There's getting to be more and more of those. This is arguably the worst first date I've ever heard of in my life. A man in Indiana named Damian Boyce robbed a woman outside her home last month. He pointed a gun at her, and she handed over $100 in cash. And then, with the gun still pointed at her, he asked her if she had a boyfriend and if she'd add him on Facebook. He even showed her his profile and forced her to add him right there. He said he'd pay her back and then ran off.
Oh, jeez.
First date, he's already borrowing money.
That surprised me.
I wish I was making this up. They even exchanged Facebook messages later with Damien still trying to score a date and promising to pay her back.
Wow.
At one point, he said, it's messed up way to meet, but you was too pretty to rob. Even
you
though he
still
still
did it.
took
Still took 100.
took her
Well,
money.
They were friends then, so it was a borrow.
That's cool. Yeah, it's not
Why
stealing.
wouldn't she have blocked him though?
I don't. Maybe it's one of those things like where you hear about captives.
She likes toxic
Stockholm
men.
syndrome.
Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah.
Well, you was pretty cute. It's pretty cute.
I mean, you
It's
had
that
me
bad
at
boy.
your
It's that
profile
bad boy.
picture.
Oh my gosh!
She's like those bad boys,
The
man.
woman said that she had a man but wished him well, and he's like, "Oh, what's the old song? What's your man got to do with me?
I got a man.
I ain't trying to hear that. See." Oh, well, it's a good thing it didn't work out for her because Damon was a dangerous dude. Last week, he was arrested and charged in a separate robbery where he allegedly shot 2 people and hit someone. I'm sorry for laughing.
That's Indy.
I'm sorry.
That's Indy.
And he hit someone else in the head with a brick. It's unclear if he was romantically interested in any of them.
It only escalates, you know.
Oh, God.
Wow.
Yeah,
He was
well,
like, it almost worked.
clearly they weren't too pretty. Court records show Damien was also charged with armed robbery in the Facebook case
Good.
last Wednesday.
Wow.
So he is, if he's looking for love now, as I told AJ, he's going to have to go to cellblockonly.com. Oh, because he is done for.
He's going to be taking bricks here in a minute.
Oh, yeah. Right. What they say is you either kick somebody's ass or become somebody's bitch. Anybody got at you yet, Damien? I probably shouldn't say that. He's a real dude that could come after me. Sometimes I forget that. But
Just
it's,
add him on Facebook. You'd be cool, man.
oh, man, this guy has balls. Man,
Add me on Facebook right now.
you was hot.
Right now.
I didn't want to do it, but you's hot, though.
Yeah, what do you got on that $100 though? I need to hold. Let me hold $100.
I'll pay you back.
What you got on this six-pack?
Oh man! All right. Well, I appreciate you guys hanging out with us tonight. Again, we continue to tell people you're more than welcome to come and join us while we do these. We'd love to have people hang out with us, and be looking for the stickers. I'll send some Facebook post out once we get those on the webpage. And do you guys have anything you want to talk about, or anything that's important to you, or just something what's grinding my gears?
Nothing grinding my gears. The whole, you talking about Ball State earlier, and the whole Happy Gilmore, that kid going there now.
Oh, yeah.
He's
What's
a
this?
golfer. His name is actually Happy Gilmore.
Are you
He's
serious?
golfing at Ball
He's
State.
trying to get onto
And
the
Adam
tour.
Sandler wished him all the best luck.
Really?
Yes.
Is he actually good at golf, or is he a
Yeah.
hockey player?
He must be better at golf than hockey.
Oh my gosh! Can you imagine? I bet you his dad's cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Actually, his mom's got to be pretty
Name him
kick-ass
Hattie.
too.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
She allowed
Yeah,
that shit to
yeah,
happen.
yeah.
Let me ask you: if you had a child, and the man says, "I know our last. What? I hope their last name's really Gilmore."
Yeah,
Right.
his name is Happy Gilmore.
Well, no, but I mean, like, can we call
Like-
him Happy?
Oh, done. What other name is there?
With Gilmore?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's too funny to me. Anyway, all right. Well, that's a good. Interrupt
That's a
me
good
anytime for
one.
that one. You get your own deal now. Anytime.
I guess I'm trading him seats next week.
Oh, there you go. All right. Well, we say it at the end of every show, and it is without question the most important thing we say, and that is if you see someone out there that you think is struggling, that probably are. It's a stressful world we live in, and we're here just to try to ease your tension for the week
Right.
for an hour. So, if you see someone you think is struggling, just reach out to them. You'd be surprised how something as small as how was your week? What you been up to?
Yes.
You still got the BGs from your spaghetti that you ate earlier. Little stuff like that.
Yeah.
It goes a long way, and might be the thing that gets somebody over the hurdle. All right, Gibbler, Puddin', we got to come up with something for you. We haven't got it yet.
I know. What's
Yeah, I don't know. We got to do some brainstorming.
We'll think of something.
Yeah, there you go. Gibbler, without further ado, I guess we will talk to them all next time.
After 2 beers.